Hey guys, this is AlphaTraveler1. Welcome to our stream. So this stream is actually something very, very different. Um, we've actually gotten quite a few folks ask us about what would you do in light of all the increases in the amount that Disney charges. So this is the reason why we're here. We're going to be talking to two really special people. Obviously, Cheri will be here. She runs a really cool travel agency, so she could give you from a travel agency's perspective. And then we have also invited the Mickey Bunch. As you know, Mickey Bunch is one of our partner channels. And one of the things that I think it's really cool about that is that the Mickey Bunch, Kelly, she's lived on the West Coast and now on the East Coast in Orlando. She could give you an idea how to potentially save money and everything else. Hey, Tweety, how are you? Thank you for joining. Everybody, how are you doing? Please let me know you are here so I could give you a quick shout out here as we, wait for people to get in and kind of get this started. By the way, Tweety, I truly love your cruise videos. You actually tell it as is. There are folks out there that you could actually see their cruise videos. They're happy, but not 100% happy. They tell you all the good stuff, but kind of leave out the bad. Love that. The Kilted guy, how's it going, my friend? Thank you very much for coming. Disney World Adventures, thank you very much. Cheri, how are you? Ruth, thank you very much for coming. So everybody, this actual chat, we're actually going to be talking about the price increase on Disney and potentially, ways to save money and really maximize your dollar. There are multiple ideas that I think that we can offer you so that when you go there, um, it's you could save some money. So everybody, so the kilted guy here, really cool guy. He's one of the first ones that actually reached out to me as well. So for him, for their channel, you know, uh, I'll always remember, and the fact that really cool name, the tilted guy. Who comes up with that stuff? It's such a cool name to begin with. So just thank you very much for supporting. Hey there, used, abused, and confused. How are you? Thank you for coming. How's the weather in Orlando? Cargo, thank you for coming. Welcome. So we are I just sent Cheri along with Kelly from the Mickey Bunch the link, so hopefully they'll join when they do. So we got a few folks in here. We're gonna Alana, thank you for coming. How are you? So I'm going to give me a second here. I want to make sure that the folks here, Cheri has the link, and so does Kelly from the Mickey Bunch. So Cheri, I think I sent you the notification via Twitter. So just the FYI. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background here. Stuff that typically you will not hear from people who are crazy about Disney. So just to give you an idea, so Disney, um, when they started, they uh, literally Disney. He used his own assets, went to a bank, and got money to get it started. Eventually, some of the money had to go to what's called a venture capitalist. A lot of people, there are a few private investors out there. As they grew bigger and bigger, they needed more money to expand. And what they did was they literally went to the capital markets. Hey, Cheri, how are you? I see you there now. Not hearing? All right, hold on a moment.
Hi, gang. If you can,
There you go. Now we can hear you better.
can you hear me now?
Yep, we can.
Okay. Perfect. Hello,
Okay,
hello.
Cheri, thank you. So Kelly may be joining a little bit later, but
Okay.
I'm actually going to give everybody a little bit of background on Disney. So what Disney actually did was they went to the true capital markets and they raised money from IPO, initial public offering. They issued shares and stocks that came out. But here's a kicker, right? The problem with going to capital markets is that the public owns you. You have to always really come up with money, make money. And even if you wanted to do the right thing, a lot of times, and what that means is, hey, you want to do the right thing for your people, the customers. You can't really put them first because you have shareholders. This is where we have a problem, and this is what we're doing current day. When Disney is a public company, they have shareholders to you know answer to. So they have to every quarter they have to make more money, more money, more money. And what happens there? They have to sell more stuff, and eventually, how much could you really sell, right? And then eventually they have to raise prices. So when they raise prices, what happens? You get hit. So this is the reason why we're talking right now. How do we really understand how to live with that and potentially, still enjoy yourself, right? So, and there's a lot of smaller channels that's kind of, I hear them, kind of talk to me about, hey, it's getting really expensive. Liz, thank you very much for joining. I think this is the first time you're in our chat here, so welcome, guys. So the thing is, who you see here right now, we have Cheri. She is our resident travel agent. So what I asked her to do is come here and kind of get an idea. How are we how are we doing in terms of understanding how does this impact you guys? How does maybe potentially someone like her could save you money and all that good stuff? And then when Kelly from the Mickey Bunch comes on, she's lived on both ends, and I want to kind of get her an idea. How does she do that, right? And we could give you an ideas how you can kind of do a prep work, and eventually when you get to Disney, you're not spending an arm and a leg. So with that said, so as you know, Disney has increased prices exponentially, and one of the things that I think we that really went up are which makes sense, right? So for people who have a little more money, who has the Premier Pass, which pass gives you both Disneyland and Disney World access. That went up from $1,600 all the way up to almost 2,000. Percentage wise, it's a lot, but however, if you think about it, the people who can afford that $400 difference may not really mean anything to them, right? But we're talking about the folks out here who doesn't have all that money, who don't have the Premier Pass, who has to make the money stretch. So from our perspective, we're talking to the folks who says, "Hey, listen, I worked hard for my money. I want to make my money stretch in terms of Disney." So with that said, you know the background now, and this is the basis of our conversation. So Kelly, let me ask you this from your perspective: what have you seen from a dollar perspective? Hey there, Bill. Rick, how are you? Thank you for coming. Ruth?
You know, we have annual passes. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of crazy. We got our first annual passes like, I don't know, 5 years ago or something. And they were, I want to say about $450 each. And at Disneyland. And then now, if we wanted those same exact annual passes, they would be close to $800.
Wow.
So that's kind of a lot in just 4 or 5 years. But, it's Disney.
So, Kelly, let me ask you this from your perspective.
Just
Of all
that.
these of all these years, or rather, Cheri, from your perspective, what has changed in terms of your spend? Let me ask you that.
Well,
Oh my God! Look at the little ones. What's
how
the little one's name?
This is a lady.
Hi, lady.
I still need to find her a tramp.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the value has gotten greater too, if I may say so, because I mean, look at all the things that they're adding on to the parks. So I understand that the prices are more, but you're getting more for your money as well. That's how I view it. I don't know about you, Kelly.
Obviously, I view it the same way. I have 6 children. They all have annual passes.
Yeah.
And my husband and I. And I mean, really, we used to live in Arizona and we would travel to Disneyland, California. And in about 5 or 6 days, the annual pass has paid for itself. So then that would give me a great excuse to go and do more vacationing because I was trying to get my money's worth. But really, it was a great deal, I think. But I mean, ticket daily prices, I can see how that could be cost prohibitive for a lot of people, honestly. So I mean, it would be for me. So that's why we have annual passes. Even for my kiddos that don't live here in Florida, when they're here, we can go every day that they're here, and then they go home for a couple months and they come back. We go every day. If I had to pay daily ticket prices every time they went, it would be kind of a lot. So I get it.
Right. So, I mean, to me, I know that Disney has done the date-based tickets now. So, um, it's kind of some days are actually cheaper than what they were. Some days are more. So, I think it's really Disney's only way of controlling crowds. And I think that's why they do it. And so I know, Alpha, you were asking me about, ticket prices and kind of how those are running right now. And I've seen tickets anywhere from like $110 a day to $140 a day. So it's going to, channel those people that are looking to save money into those slower dates, which typically that's like the magic question, when is the slow time at Disney? That's the magic question.
It's true. And it's a better time to go, when the crowds aren't there, so I get it.
So here's the thing. What I found, just to give you a little bit of perspective, I love to talk. I got a big mouth. People tell me that. I'm very personable, right? So if I'm online, I'll be talking to everybody. Just to give you an idea, I would say about 12 years ago, everybody I talk to, they're talking about they have to save about 2 years, maybe 3, to come to Disney as an average American family. Last time I was in Disneyland, in Disney World last year, that number went from 2 to all the way to 3 to 4 years now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea how cost prohibitive is. But I have to tell you though, from my perspective, one of the things that helped me save money is when I do get a car, and if I do get a car or if I drive, I will actually go out to a local CVS, buy snacks and drinks and stuff like that instead of buying it in the park. That saves me a whole boatload of money. And then also, one of the things I have to tell you that I am so addicted to is the Disney Character Warehouse.
Yeah.
I don't buy my souvenirs in the parks anymore. I go to the Character Warehouse first, get my money's worth, and then I'll go to the park. Just to give you an idea how much I saved. Last time I was there in the Character Warehouse, I bought a whole lot of stuff, kind of for Christmas and all that. I spent $100, and I went home and calculated the actual retail price. It almost came out to be $900.
Wow.
So there goes your ticket increase. Let me tell you, so that you paid for itself, guys.
True. That's great hints, Kenny. Especially why pay $40 for a t-shirt when you can get one for $7.99 at the Character Warehouse? I mean, honestly, unless I really just have to own something, I wait. I wait. And with so many kids, we live on the Character Warehouse, for Christmases and birthdays, and I just buy stuff, tuck it away. But when the kids were little, I used to buy Disney things on discount through the year, pack them up, put them in our hotel room, they get one in their backpack a day. So then they're carrying their little backpack with snacks and their little present. And then when they're wanting something, I'd be like, oh, open your backpack, and then they would get to open it and they'd be happy. So, there are definitely ways to save money, like bring your own drinks and, buy things on discount. And you can still have the magic and the fantastic experience, but do it on a budget for sure.
Oh,
so Cheri,
also, Alpha, I was going to tell you that I know last time we talked about the blackout dates for the 4-Park Magic tickets, and they actually have a whole structure. Because like I said, it's all date based now, but so are the ticket structures for the 4-Park Magic ticket, which kind of surprised me. So they have a value, a select, and a summer rate, even on those 4-Park Magic tickets. And for those that are not familiar with that, it's a 4-day ticket. The catch is you can't go back to the same park twice. In other words, you can only go to Magic Kingdom once, Epcot once, and so on. But it's a great value. They start at $85 per day for the value dates. The select dates are $89 per day plus tax. And the summer rates are $95 per day. So, if you're looking to save some money, these ticket specials are fantastic.
Well,
Cheri, sorry.
let me ask you guys this. So this is for the people in the chat. See, for me, I don't like that simply because right now I think, in my opinion, Hollywood Studios is just a half-a-day park. I don't want to spend full price on that.
Right.
What do you guys think about Hollywood Studio as being a half-a-day park and having to say, I gotta go?
It's funny because Kennedy and I were talking on the phone last night, and Matthew, about the same exact thing, that Hollywood Studios is really a half-a-day park. Until Toy Story Land, I don't know what people did there.
Right.
I come from Disneyland, understand. But I mean, we went there and we're like, okay, there's shopping, there's some eating. I mean, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, then what? But I mean, I do love Toy Story Land, and Star Wars is going to change that game dramatically. But for us, Hollywood Studios, half a day park. I love it. It's really fun while you're there, but then you want to get going somewhere else. So I get what you're saying.
So guys, on the chat, how many people would take that deal where you're made to go to Hollywood Studio? Maybe even now it's a half a day park. Prior to that, just like Kelly says, I think that was like a 2-hour thing. I'm out. You know, who would do that? Let me ask you that. Would you opt for that? So that's kind of just a question for the people in the chat. So
Okay.
Cheri, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, my thought on that is these are half ticket prices. These prices are almost half, especially on some of these dates. I mean, are you kidding me? You know, you're talking summertime and everything. We've got some of the select dates here in April. I mean, that's prime time, spring break time, you know. And so really, honestly, you know, these are saving you almost half price. So if it's a half day park, you know, go do something else, you know, enjoy your resort or go to Disney Springs, or you could even go to a water park if you wanted.
Is it true that the current price for prime ticket for Magic Kingdom is almost $150?
Yeah, they start out at 110, and then I priced one the other day for, I think it was around Christmas time, and it was 139.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why, you know, Disney's putting out these deals. So, you know, why not take advantage of these?
Agreed. That's fantastic. Go on the cheaper day because there's probably going to be less people there too. And I mean, I do not like crowds. I hate crowds. I hate it when you, oh my gosh, and then when the flipping parade starts and you can't get from one side of the park to the other and they herd you like cattle. Yeah, no thanks. I would go on the cheaper day and avoid the cattle herding parade nonsense. I'm not a parade lover. Sorry. Ain't nobody got time for a parade in my estimation. There's too much shopping, eating, and riding to do to sit there and stand for hours just to see a parade. So I watch Kenny's channel so I can watch the parade. Thank you, Kenny, for going through the nonsense for all of us.
Yes, Kenny absolutely did a fantastic job on the Christmas parade in Disneyland. Absolutely love that video.
Thank you. So one of the things I think what you all bring to the table is that your experiences, right? And what is truly a way to save money. And it sounds like for Cheri, you know, if you do buy that, you're saving a good portion of money. And I think one of the things that a lot of people don't know, guys, and this is a secret out there, or not a secret, I guess for y'all ladies on here, you probably already know, but if you book your trip with Disney and you felt like there's a better option that had come out, when you call them back, the travel agent, they will actually get you a better deal. Is that a true fact, Cheri?
Yes, it is. If there is a special that comes out, and you know, I recommend that you book at least a year in advance. So we're booking 499 days in advance right now. So, but at least a year in advance, you want to go ahead and get that room locked in, because that's going to be the main thing, that the availability is going to be a factor. So go ahead and lock in that room. And then, you know, sometimes the packages aren't even out. Like right now, the packages are not out for 2020. So we could book a room only for 2020. And then when the packages come out, we'll redo it to a package at that time. And then whenever the specials come out, then we'll reprice it to the special if it applies. You know, it has to apply to your dates and your hotel, and the availability has to be there. Because with Disney, they only do just certain amount of those, and they're first come, first serve, and once they're gone, they're gone. But if you can catch it right at the right time and get that deal, then you can definitely reprice it. Absolutely.
So Kelly, let me ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
As a person who lived in the West Coast, coming to the East Coast now, before you had to price these deals and all that good stuff. What is your thought on that experience? Like when you come over, what are differences that you could see, or potentially stuff that you learned that could help our folks who are in the chat kind of get a better deal?
Sure. I'm very new to Disney World. I will tell everyone that, I went in, the 70s with my parents, and then I didn't go again until January of last year. So I'm very new to Disney World, but I will tell you there are deals to be had. And I think listening to Cheri, I have never used a travel agent, but I think I would for Disney World. Disney World is a whole new game. Disneyland is easy. Disney World is complicated. I planned our trip in January. I went the second week in January after everybody was back in school. So we got a fantastic deal on our Lion King room. We got a fantastic deal on our tickets, which on the last day of our tickets, I turned them into annual passes. That's a good tip for anybody. If you can turn your 5-day pass in on the 5th day and put it entirely towards an annual pass. I don't know if people know that, but it is magic. But I will say, having to schedule a year out or 2 years out, definitely a travel agent. But, I think we got our Lion King rooms for $279, and we got the huge, family suite with 3 beds and 3 TVs, and it was, but my gosh, Disney World can be so much, and it's so complicated. It's so complicated. But I don't know if that was helpful or not, but I think
so. So Kelly,
very helpful.
So for those of people who don't know Kelly, she's recently moved to Florida. She's been on the West Coast. So since we're talking about Disney in general, is there any tip that you could give our folks for Disneyland?
Disneyland, of course. I will talk forever about the Candy Cane Inn. Call them, get to know them, be friends with them. They are the oldest hotel and the closest hotel on the same side as Disneyland. They are fantastic. It's family owned. It's immaculate. It's beautiful. Free breakfast, free shuttle. Literally, yes. And it's like you're at Disneyland still, because there's gardeners 24 hours a day trimming the roses. And I mean, it's just fantastic. It's a great deal. They have very good prices. And if you book more than once with them in a year, you save $20 a night. So
wow.
Candy Cane Inn, they're fantastic. And I mean, they're literally close enough that you could walk to Disneyland, but they have a shuttle that's just private for their hotel. They take you right, essentially to the gate. Absolutely love them. Free breakfast. And they actually encourage you to take like extra fruit, extra bagels.
Wow.
They give you a little tray in your room, like a when you were a kid and you were in the cafeteria at school. And they tell you, hey, come load up, take it back to your room. Candy Cane, save money. Now, if money is no option, Disneyland Hotel all day long. That is not my life. But yeah, and honestly, just I like to go to Disneyland when I think it's not going to be busy. And the fantastic thing about Disneyland is they have Max Pass versus kind of this insane Fast Pass system at Disney World. So you buy the Max Pass. Once you've scanned your ticket and you're in the park, you can purchase Max Pass, not before. Okay. So you pay, you scan your ticket, you're in the park, you buy Max Pass on your phone, you can book 3 fast passes. So at Disneyland, you can ride any ride any day.
Wow.
Disney World, listen up. This booking fast passes 3 months, 6 months in advance. Nobody can ride Slinky Dog Dash. Nobody can ride Pandora. It's chaos. I'm not going to spend $150 on a ticket and then have to spend 4 hours in line. That's my rant for the day, Benny.
Let me add to that about the Max Pass. So last year I bought the Max Pass. I went there myself. Hey Disney Dan, thanks for coming. Noah, Brenda, everybody who just came in, Rob, Ruth, thank you for joining. So in terms of the Max Pass, I want to give you an idea how great that is. I went in during rope drop in Disneyland. I used the Max Pass, and by 11 o'clock, I did 12 of the most important and most busiest rides. 12, all done by, it was like 11:40 something. It was time to do lunch, and I went to do a really slow lunch, and literally done.
Awesome.
So,
Max Pass, and all your photos are included. So when you have Max Pass, $10, it includes all of your photos taken with characters or whatever. So,
wait. A correction. It is now 15 for 2019.
Oh, see, sorry, I've been in Florida too long. Man. 15, steal a deal. Because honestly, like Kenny said, you can ride any ride, any day you're there if you get the Max Pass.
Yeah, so really funny. So Brenda actually, so I guess she saw my my stream, and I told everybody I don't do the teacup, and yeah, I don't do the teacup. I have not done the teacup. I look at people, ride it, and I walk away.
No, I get sick just watching it on the vlogs. No.
I know, right?
I'm so mean. I like tell my children, touch that thing in the middle and you're going to the hotel. I'm serious. But you touch that thing in the middle, it's done.
Oh my God.
But what do they do?
Well, of course.
I'm with you. I'm a one teacup per trip. One teacup per trip.
All right, so one of the things that I am very, very gung ho about, which is if for those people who are out there for a longer period of time, this is for our partners or friends in, say, England, who goes to Orlando for 2 or 3 weeks straight. There's a really nice Walmart right in back of backyard of Walt Disney, and it's fantastic. For those of you who don't know, you could do all your shopping there. They have merchandise that you could buy there at a discount. So great place. And also, I think Amazon Anywhere or whatever, what do they call it? Amazon Fresh. I've actually used that to deliver stuff to my hotel room, which was very, very competitive. So those are the ways to also save money. For those of you who, many of you might not know that, but these are options for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amazon is a lifesaver. We ordered like Amazon because we stayed on January 7 days, and we have an army of children. So it was great to be able to order fresh things into the room and put them in the refrigerator. They could make bagels in the morning, whatever. Great idea. We went to that Walmart and they have a heck ton of Disney apparel, which they don't have at normal Walmart. So pretty cool idea.
Yes, and Rob took the words out of my mouth. Garden Grocer also delivers right to your hotel room in Disney World. So,
what is a Garden Grocer? Let me ask you that.
It's just a local grocery store that delivers there. So just go to gardengrocer.com and you can order it right there. Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. So, I think from our perspective, our insights will ultimately help all our folks here. really be obsessed and really save some money and have a little more money left for some souvenirs, for heaven's sakes. With that increase, a lot of people have told me that it hits their budget for souvenirs for people. So these are some of the stuff that you guys have to really think about when you do travel. And one of the things I'll tell you that I have used a travel agent in the past, and it took the stress out of my life. I have to tell you that. But in terms of the travel agent, you have to make sure you trust them. There are ones out there that just want to they just churn you out. Once they get to you, they sell the stuff for you. You paid for it. You won't hear from them ever again. So this is one of the reasons why I think Cheri, I want to introduce Cheri, to our community. Is Cheri's a part of our community. If you use her services and you have anything, she's always there for you. She can't hide because we have her Twitter account, we have her Instagram account, we have her YouTube account. I'm sure you could get her anytime. So even if she hit under the rock, we know which rock she hit under. So
Right.
But
another thing we talked about, Kenny, last time that I wanted to touch on a little bit here was the Good Neighbor hotels.
Yep.
I do have packages for the Good Neighbor hotels. Now, for us to sell the Good Neighbor hotels, we do have to do it as a package with the tickets combined. Okay. But yes, you can save a little bit of money if you want to stay just a slightly bit off property. Yeah, I can set you up with a Good Neighbor hotel as well.
So really quick, for those of you who don't know what a Good Neighbor hotel is, for those who are new, those are the hotels that have been what a lot of Disney casts would say vetted by Disney. What that actually means is that they have to live up to a certain standards and all that good stuff. And obviously, the biggest thing is I have to give a certain percentage to Disney, But what's really cool about that is that they save you a lot of money. So before we get any further, we got Wandering Naps. We have Juan that just had come in that had just come in. For those of you who just came in, hello. Thank you very much for coming. We're actually talking about how to save money on a Disney. Me being AlphaTraveler1, my name is Kenny. I am here with my co-hosts here. So we have Kelly from the Mickey Bunch, and we also have Cheri from Cheri's Awesome Summer Travels. So before we do that, I'm going to take a quick break. I want, if you don't mind, Cheri, introduce yourself, introduce your channel, and then hand it over to Kelly. And then we'll continue to talk about the Good Neighbor hotels.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome everyone into the stream today. Also, I want to thank Kenny, Alpha Traveler, for this opportunity. And, it's just a whole lot of fun for me to be on here with him and Kelly today. I guess if I would tell a little bit of my background, I've been in travel unofficially for over 30 years. So I've officially had my own travel agency for about 13 years. But, I used to work for Disney Dining. I used to work for Carnival. So I have, very, very long, extensive education in travel, which started in 1987 when I went to my travel school in Miami. So so I've been around for a long, long time, and I always tell everyone that getting your cracking me up. but so anything that you need, you can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All of my links are in my About tab on YouTube. But just message me at Twitter Awesome. And I always say I'll give you personal service that you'll never get with the big guys.
Kelly?
Hi. Hi, Kenny. Thank you so much for inviting me with Cheri. This is amazing. I have no credentials other than being a lifetime Disney consumer. My parents, I grew up in Southern Indiana, and our summer vacations were always to Orlando, to Disney World. And then when we moved to Arizona, when I was 10 years old, we started going to Disneyland. So, and then of course, when I grew up and had kids of my own, that's where we vacation. We vacation at Disney. So, I have decades of experience of just loving Disney and going to Disney. And my husband Ken and I absolutely love Disney. So I go now that we moved to Daytona Beach, probably 3 to 4 times a week. And so sometimes we just go for a couple hours. Dylan and I usually go. He's our youngest son. We usually go once a week, and maybe it's just a couple hours, ride a couple rides, eat a couple snacks, and go home. So it's really kind of an awesome experience. Now I'm really getting to know Disney World, but the Mickey Bunch is just, Ken and I and our 6 kids, and this community is amazing. I mean, I just have to say that everybody I'm seeing on this, I should put on my glasses, is amazing. I mean, such welcoming community and true, I feel like true friendships. So thank you, Kenny, for bringing the bunch with you along on this journey. We appreciate it so much. You look adorable, by the way. Love the ears.
All right, guys. So really quick, these are the folks that we're trying to kind of help everybody save some money. So everybody knows my name is Kenny. I'm with AlphaTraveler1. I do like to travel, so I will have not only Disney stuff, but I will also have Vegas, New York, different beaches, from California, Puerto Rico, or somewhere wherever life brings me. I'll bring you guys there as well. So I would say I'm maybe about 85, maybe 80% Disney, but I happen to love Disney. So I'm sure everybody's wondering about this hat. So I actually got Cargo to make the first ear hat that she's ever made for me. And I told, it kind of started saying, hey, this is unfair that, women's get the ears and guys don't get squat. So she's like, well, you know what? Let me make one. And there it is. This is my ears.
Oh,
Okay.
that is fantastic.
So great, that's the story. Here's a thing. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna hit potentially 1,500 soon, and I'm gonna be running a really, really big giveaway. And one of the giveaway is Cargo is gonna make a custom ear, or for men, ear hat for you.
Nice.
Wow.
Enter me now.
And then the second one is coming from another, I guess, Etsy store that I actually saw. They actually do hand crochet winter hats. It's gonna and we're gonna have them either for men or women. We're gonna get you one, and it's got all the Mickey colors, black, red, and yellow, whatever it is. It'll look just like a Mickey's pants or whatever that you have on the head. And then the third one is another Coach, I guess, wrist. It's called a wrist bag, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I don't have those. But it's about this big. It retails for about $90. So I'm gonna give those 3 out, and potentially there's gonna be one more that I am trying to procure. So I'm trying to make 4 very customized, very cool thank you gifts. So that will be coming soon. Okay. So for those of you out there, look for it. Once I hit 1,500, I'll make that announcement. I will show you guys all the stuff we're giving away. So everybody, thank you very much for coming. I saw there's a bunch of new people had come in. So everybody, thank you for coming and joining us. We definitely appreciate you. I mean, this is just friendship that just works, and love you guys. So now, with that said, let's go back to the neighborhood hotels. One of the things about neighborhood hotels I want you to know is that those are obviously vetted by Disney. They are cheaper, but it doesn't mean you don't get a lot of the same type of benefits. So Cheri's going to kind of talk to you a little bit about them. So kind of give you an idea. Potentially, this could be an option that saves you, say, if you had a family of say 10, saves you $100 or more per person during the trip. That's still money saved. So Cheri, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. And like I was saying, the Good Neighbor hotels that I can book for you, it has the tickets already included, and a lot of them, have shuttles to the park and everything like that. Some of them you can also get the extra magic hours. You can get, some of the benefits, maybe not all of them. There's some kind of a dining card, something that you can get with them. So, if that's what you're looking for, you may think, well, I don't want to spend quite as much, as it is to stay on property. Then, if you're on a budget and, that's a choice for you. So, definitely, like I said, get a hold of me and we can look into it and, price it both ways and see which way you think is the best for you.
Kelly, so just to let you know that if you ever stay in the old downtown Disney or the Disney Spring area, I have always been able to get really good pricing from the Hilton in literally there. Just to give you an idea, last year I stayed there in a Hilton. This is a Hilton. I'm not talking about any other thing. This is the top of the line Hilton. Nice. I got it for $109 a night.
What?
Yeah. And I paid, I think, $15 or $20 for extra magic hour. That got me to $130 a night. And that's free transportation, like Cheri said. So you're not really losing a lot there. And what I remember was, after all said and done, including my parking, because I got a car, that parking, I still saved over 40 something dollars off of even the lowest price Disney hotel per night. Still money in my pocket.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Was that Hilton Orlando Bonnet Creek?
Nope, it's the one right in front of Disney Springs.
Right there on Hotel Circle. Right.
Yep, right in the Hotel Circle. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I've got Hilton Orlando Buena Vista Place. There's like 3 or 4 of them in here. Yeah.
So the one that literally you could walk to Disney Springs, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. So chances are I can help them with that one too. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna come to your old neighborhood, Kelly. So the Hilton, the Good Neighbor Hilton in Disneyland, I was able to get $119 a night, literally a third of a mile away from Disney. And depending on how long you stay there, the longer you stay, the thing with Disneyland is, at least last year, they gave you extra magic hours for free.
They did. Disneyland does that quite a bit. Or they, like, if you buy like a certain times a year, if you buy a 3-day pass, if you book with certain hotels, they'll give you a 4-day pass. Yeah. So, I've actually stayed at that Hilton. It's really super nice. It was probably about 3 or 4 years ago I discovered the Candy Cane Inn. So I've been, all about the candy cane. But there's also, like, the Portofino is super nice over there by the Hilton. You can see the fireworks usually if you're on the right side of the building, your room, your balcony. Super nice. I even stayed at the Sheraton that kind of looks like Sherwood Forest on the other side of like where It's a Small World is. It's just on the other side. And that one was super fantastic. So, it's really worth it to shop. to shop the hotels. And if you can get one close, sometimes it's easier to walk for sure. So Kenny, great idea. I did want to mention something for people with kiddos. I was mentioning little kiddos, I would pack a present in their backpack. Well, as my kids got older, they really, weren't so much into that. So what I would do is I'd have a Chase Disney card, and I save up my points all through the year. And then when we would do our big trip, I would turn my points in for gift cards for the kids. So they would each get a gift card, and then that was their money to spend. If they wanted something, they could buy it. They didn't have to ask me. They had their own gift cards. I started this probably when they were about 10 years old, and they needed to learn to budget their money for the whole trip. If they wanted a corn dog and it wasn't time for us to eat yet, they could go get a corn dog, but it was really saved me money, because instead of every store you go in, them saying, oh, can I have this? I want this, I want this, and it not meaning anything, they would have to think about what dollars they had and where they really wanted to spend it. And they usually at the end of every trip would get something they really, really wanted. Mm-hmm. So that, and it didn't cost me anything because I got the gift cards for free with my points from using my Chase card. So just another saving money tip.
We did talk about that a little bit last week with the Disney Visa, and definitely I have about $300 burning a hole in mine, so that's going towards our trip next time. You better believe it. And yeah, so I'm going to be putting everything I can, on that card just to get the points. Why not? If I probably by the time I leave, I should have probably $500 or $600. So that's going to pay for a lot of my hotel right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
That many points? Whew.
Yeah, and they add up quick. So I just end up using my card to pay my bills. Then I pay my bills, then I pay the card. But you rack up the points, and it's like, if it's free, it's for me. So
exactly, I'm all about it.
So there you go, guys. You also have I totally forgot about the credit card. I have one, but I don't use it as a primary. My focus is actually money back. I'll tell you why. The reason is I get the money back, I could get more points as I buy more stuff. That actually means that I could use my own money to get more points elsewhere. So every dollar I gain, I get more money back instead of using the points in Magic Kingdom, which I don't get any points at all. So this is kind of the reason why that's not the top of my wallet. But I think but wow, $600 by the time you're done. Yeah, that helped a lot.
Oh yeah, and you can put it toward your flights. If you happen to not go to Disney World one year, you can actually put it toward your airline, or you can buy Christmas gifts with it. From the Shop Disney. Yeah.
I think I just remembered that I think Wondering Naps when they came in, I don't know if they're still here. They actually talked about having using points to go to hotels and airline tickets. So those of you who are out there are also just remember as well that they do help. If you could go there for a cheaper price or free, it's even better. So, I think from a perspective, I think Disney should come out with a loyalty point system. Just saying, Disney, if you ever hear me, start thinking about that. We got a whole bunch of folks on this chat who wants a point system. Get it?
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
I know, right?
I would be unstoppable. I don't know how my husband will feel about this, but I would. It's all about the points, baby.
Racking up points, honey.
But don't you think that should be, because there's so many people who are consumers, And everybody out there has a point system except for these theme parks. Just saying, Disney.
True.
I'm thinking.
True.
But yeah, so from our perspective, I think saving money and also knowing who to trust, like a travel agent here is the utmost important. So, I think what we've talked about, there's a lot of ideas out there. For those of you out there who are just listening in, think about all those ideas that when you do go, there's a way to save you money. And I can tell you, you don't have to break the bank, even with Disney raising its prices. So that's kind of like my take on it, and this is kind of the reason why I wanted to do this was because a lot of smaller channels are like, oh my god, did you see the price increase? And I kind of said, well, are you doing X, Y, and Z? And they're like, no. And I kind of realized, well, there's a bunch of little ones that's kind of saying that maybe we should get that message out there. And who else to kind of do this, then we're Cheri and Kelly here, and I want to make sure that we do what we can to help our community. That's all.
Absolutely.
You're an amazing
So,
Great.
Yes.
so everyone, really quick, we are going to be doing a whole lot of streams with our folks here. We got Cheri and Kelly on here, and then we'll also other folks that we're going to be adding to the stream. Obviously, we're going to have Rob, and then Bob, and Bob from their channel there. Hopefully, we could have our other partner channels on here. Also, there's a few people who are going to be special guests, and I'll announce them as we come close to them. And what I've kind of realized is that the small channel, one of the things, I'm going to give you an example of what we're going to do. So as you know, we had a small channel introduction, and the Mickey Bunch was my first channel. The first channel, I said, you know what, I'd like to kind of bring them on. I like their channel, and I want to feature them. And I kind of realized that the best way to do this is literally bring them onto our chat, feature them on our streams going forward. Instead of putting on the video where as we churn out the videos, the older ones get less and less look. So what best way to really understand and know people is to have invite people on our chat. That's simple.
Oh,
so
yes.
Hopefully.
I totally agree, and I appreciate it, Kenny, so much. You having me on, and I was so excited whenever you suggested that I might, be a recurring guest on your stream, and I just thank you so much for the opportunity. It's fantastic. I also want to give a big shout out to Dean at theliveplace.com, and so he's been helping me out with posting my streams out there and everything. And so I'm doing trying to anyway doing shows on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. This next week I'm going on a cruise, but I'm going to be planning on live streaming from the cruise ship. So definitely tune in for that.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Wait, but I love Kenny. I mean, seriously, I think he was like our subscriber number 9. He's been so encouraging and supportive, and just always positive, and gives us his comments always make my day, and so we love Kenny, and thank you so much. I literally was fangirling. My husband's out fishing. I don't fish. I watched him fish. And so I came in to get a drink, and I saw you, and I ran out, and I told my husband I was like totally fangirling about the whole thing. Like, oh, he asked me to be on the stream again. I'm so excited. So
I agree.
What? Well, you know what? I have to say though, for both of you and everybody on the stream, you guys are fantastic. I've reached out to you. We're communicating because of a reason. Because you guys are good people. For those people who I think truly love Disney and love being a part of an overall good community, I'm going to reach out to you. And you have to give yourself a pat in the back as well, because if you don't truly have the best in mind, for people and your channel, you wouldn't be here. It's that simple, right? So, guys, thank you all very much for coming and spending your evening with us. As always, I'm going to give you guys a story to kind of give you guys a boost in morale and truly helping people understand that everything you do makes a difference in someone's life. So, a while ago, when I went to Puerto Rico, um, I kind of went up and talked to a gate agent, and I looked at her, and she didn't look very happy. So I said, "Are you having a magical and fantastic morning?" And she said no. And I asked her why. I started talking to her, and I kind of realized, and she actually opened up to me, which I thought was really special. She says she just lost her son 2 weeks ago to a drunk car accident. And when she said that, I kind of said, you know what? Come over here. Do you mind if I give you a hug? Give her a hug. And I told her, you know what? And she says, why would God do that for me? I said, you know what? It's time. Perhaps it's time for him to go home, and perhaps it's time for him to be one of your guardian angels. And I said, you know what? Time that we are on this earth is a drop in a bucket in overall existence. I said, in no time, you will be back with your son. It got her so worked up. And she said, you know what? No one's ever said that to me. And I said, you know what? Keep your chin up. I also went and bought her a bunch of chips and, water and stuff like that. Because you know what? When you're going through that, you have a feeling like, oh my God, I'm thirsty. Am I doing the right thing telling you that? So I gave her that for breakfast. She was really happy. And one thing I kind of started was when I got there, I was one of the first ones to board. I guess because I travel so much, I was upgraded to first class. So I got there, I said, can I give another hug? And then, the parties that I went when we all gave them a hug. And we started passing along the story to everybody in the back. As I look back, everybody on the line gave her a hug.
Oh, that's so
Oh
good.
my goodness.
That
That
So,
is fantastic.
so you don't know that very little thing that you do will make someone's life that much better. So before I leave, I want to ask you all to do this. At least just try to put one smile in someone's face. That means even if it's holding an elevator for someone, you've done a good deed. So thank you all very much for coming. We love you, and we will see you in the next stream.
Bye.
Bye.